Syria's political transition following the fall of the Syrian regime.
On Monday, civilian traffic resumed, but there was no public transport in Damascus, Syria. Long lines formed in front of bakeries and other food stores, and there was little sign of any security presence. A few SUVs were on the side of a main boulevard that appeared to have been broken into. In public square, some people were still celebrating the fall of the Syrian regime.
نحن الآن نعيش الاستقلال الثاني و8/12 سيخلده تاريخ هذا اليوم العظيم، هذا اليوم المجيد، هو يوم استقلال سوريا الجديد.
أول مرة بحياتي أنا بوقف هون بهي الساحة، عمري 60 سنة، أول مرة هون بوقف. هلا أنا طاير عقل البشر هون. نحن يعني نهار ما بيتطرق.
Okay, and what will happen after this? This is from Euronews. Mohammed al-Bashir, an official in Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, or HTS, has been appointed the interim prime minister on Monday, taking over the role of Mohammed Ghazi al-Jalali, who said he would remain in Damascus after ousted leader Bashar Assad fled to Russia. Now, regarding this, the UK and Germany signaled that they are open to working with HTS. However, the EU said it wouldn't engage with HTS, although added the group which has been accused of controlling areas with human rights abuses would be judged by their actions, not words, EU said. But Germany and also Austria until now have suspended asylum applications from Syria, saying that the situation was currently too uncertain. Now, the decision would impact until now some 47,000 Syrians in Germany. Unconfirmed reports suggest that Greece could be soon to follow this steps from Germany.
Indeed, actually, Germany is the European country that houses the most refugees from Syria at this time as well. Now, there's also another interesting perspective as well economically, as we do know that Syria is in a very fragile state right now, and Bashar al-Assad has amassed an estimated personal fortune anywhere between 1.25 billion to over $2 billion during his 24 years in power. I'll get back to that in a minute. His flight to Russia means that his ill-gotten gains will almost certainly be targeted by the international community. So his family's wealth, which is largely hidden in offshore accounts and through complex financial structures, is actually believed to be much greater. So, according to the Syria Observatory for Human Rights, via investment in sectors such as telecommunications, real estate, oil, and banking, it is understood to have controlled assets worth anywhere between 55 billion and 125 billion US dollars. Now, in addition to his own wealth, the Assad family has faced multiple international asset freezes, with millions of dollars being frozen or seized by European authorities as part of efforts to curb his family's financial empire. Now, despite these sanctions, much of their fortune still remains hidden, often under false names or through third-party individuals to avoid any detection. Now, with Assad now in Moscow, it is actually plausible that some of his assets could be placed under the control of Russian authorities or sheltered in Russian banks, as Moscow has already often played a protective role in his affairs. But the international community, especially the West, you see where I'm going here, may continue to exert pressure to track or even freeze any other illicit wealth linked to the Assad regime. And if his assets are indeed placed under the oversight of Russian state, the broader political implications could create more tension between Russia and Western powers, especially given the sanctions and condemnation that has been imposed on Assad's government. So the future of his financial empire is likely to depend on how long his political ties with Russia remain intact, how much they're going to protect him, and whether any international legal action is going to be taken against his assets. So again, this is something we should keep an eye on as well as a side note. In the meantime, though, we will continue to update you on more in regards to what's happening in Syria. But for now, let's shift to another story that is actually quite unique and inspiring, as a Ukrainian man who is fleeing the war in Kharkiv was rescued from a deep ravine in the Carpathian Mountains in Romania, where he had been stranded for over a week with his kitten named Peach.
The 28-year-old Vladislav Duda was found in sub-zero temperatures, soaked and frozen by a rescue team in a blizzard. And when rescuers unzipped his jacket, they found Peach inside.
A helicopter rescue was initially attempted but called off due to poor visibility. Now, ground teams then tracked through deep snow and freezing temperatures to reach them. Peach, suffering from malnutrition, survived by drinking melted snow.
And while Peach is the first cat rescued in the region, Duda has been one of many Ukrainians risking their lives in harsh conditions to avoid being drafted into the ongoing war with Russia. So the theory here being that the temperature from Peach being inside his jacket is what actually kept him alive, because this is one of those life-saving techniques that you hear about when if you're ever stranded in an avalanche or in cold mountain, that you should share body temperatures, but instead you did it with a cat.
Yeah, and the man says this actually. He said when he was rescued, it's like a dream, I quote, "It's like a dream. After all I've been through, I only hope to be found and survive. Peach kept my heart warm, and he kept my faith alive." So
amazing.
Super sweet. What a heartwarming story.
I'm about to cry.
I know. Anas is a animal lover, so she does this sometimes. Anyways, we'll shift your attention to Asia. Yes, one of the Philippines' most active volcanoes erupted yesterday with a big plume of ash shooting up to 3 kilometers into the blue sky in a powerful blast that sent villagers fleeing to emergency shelters. There were no immediate reports of casualties in the latest explosion of Mount Canlaon on central Negros Island. The eruption sparked health concerns due to ash falls that hit nearby villages and prompted disaster response officials to raise an alert to risk from hazardous volcanic activity. The director of the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, Teresito Bacoco, said, has asked people living around Canlaon to be prepared for evacuation.
Atong mga kauban nagapuyong around Canlaon volcano, we are requesting them they should always be ready. Kay basit anytime we will raise alert level from alert level 3 to alert level 4. So ready, they have to be ready nga mo evacuate sila, and we should always follow. Musunod sila sa unsay istorya sa LGU o sa FIFO.
Yes, indeed. Rappler reports that the Office of Civil Defense, in an updated estimate on Monday evening, said that 87,000 people will be forced to evacuate before Monday's eruption. Canlaon last erupted in June. That eruption 6 months ago, described as moderately explosive, triggered the declaration of Alert Level 2. So PIVOC said that the eruption on Monday is similar to the June eruption, but stronger based on seismic and other observation data. So if the volcanic activity persists or worsens, PIVOX could raise alert level 4, which would mean that a hazardous eruption is imminent. So the alert level system is between 0 and 5, 5 meaning hazardous eruption in progress, 0 means normal. So according to PIVOX, there are 24 active volcanoes in the Philippines, and Canlaon is one of the Philippines' 24 active volcanoes. It has erupted more than 40 times since 1866, and Canlaon is currently the only volcano under alert level 3, whereas there are others such as Mayon in Albay and Taal in Batangas. They are both under alert level 1, while Bulusan in Sorsogon and Pinatubo in Pampanga, Zambales, and Tarlac are both under alert level 0.
It's got to be tough to have been evacuated twice within a 6-month span. We'll continue to follow along any further development and keep you apprised. In the meantime, in other news related to natural disasters as well, here in Indonesia, rescuers have recovered 10 bodies that were swept away by flash floods or buried under mud and rocks in the hilly villages in Java.
Officials said Monday that 2 people are still missing. Torrential rains since last week caused rivers to overflow, devastating more than 170 villagers in Sukabumi Regency. Mud, rock, and trees tumbled down mountainside hamlets, said Lieutenant Colonel Yudi Haryanto, who pets, a rescue command post in the area.
The disaster has destroyed 31 bridges, 81 roads, and 539 hectares of rice fields. Over 1,170 houses were flooded, some all the way up to their roofs, with more than 3,300 buildings damaged. Landslides, flash floods, and strong winds forced over 3,000 residents into temporary shelters, while nearly 1,000 others have been told to evacuate due to ongoing risks. Rescue teams found the bodies in the hardest hit villages, the Tegal Bulut, Simpanan, and Ciamas, including 3 children, and search efforts continue for the other 2 missing villagers. And that is just our first of many updates from Indonesia. We have got more for you coming up after our first break here on the program. Keep it on here with us on the C Morning Show. We'll be right back after this.
What's happening now?
President Prabowo Subianto and Vice President Gibran Rakabuming Raka that took their oaths of office at the Parliament building earlier today.
Exclusive interviews and all the latest in entertainment.
We don't talk only about the money, but we talk about the timing.
Spice up your afternoon with a variety of up-to-date information.
Buenos Aires, Argentina, where Liam Payne passed away on Thursday.
Don't miss it for the 3-hour news show every day at 5 p.m.
I'm starting my journey old style in this beautiful traditional Felucca sailboat. There's no wind to sail this time, Abea. Hello. Hi. When I found these guys, it's like Noah's Ark back here.
Since I was young, I had an intense desire to discover the world around me. This is my first time driving in South America. That hasn't changed, just the level of adventure. Now, every journey has a purpose. And each time I venture out to explore new destinations around the globe. Yeah. There's a biggie under there. I am following my travel quest.
I'm Eric Hansen. When I see a trail, I see more than a path from point A to point B. A good trail is the ultimate opportunity to explore, to discover new landscapes, and to challenge myself. When I don't have a pack on my back, I'm thinking about my next big adventure, because my mission is simple. My mission is to discover the world's most epic trails.
Dr. Lisa Chimes, and as an emergency vet,
All right, sweetie.
I've dedicated my life to saving animals' lives.
Look at your messy face.
Now I'm venturing out of the hospital to raise awareness about animal welfare and give mistreated and abandoned pets a new start in life. I'm going to match each orphan with a loving family, one pet at a time.
Bintang tamu nggak boleh lebih telat daripada gua. Rekor telat gua nanti terpecahkan dong. Gimana sih lu? Kamu mendingan pulang daripada bapak udah ngomongin dulu. Emang performa lu sekarang kan lagi turun, Ki.
Saya di atas terus kok, Pak.
Performa? Apa sih yang ada di pikiran kamu? Kesana mulu. Ruangan saya masih berantakan, ada gembel 7 di dalam.
Bukannya mau Parigin katanya izin hari ini mau reuni mau ketemu. Katanya gembel semua.
Anak podcast sejati.
Here are some of the top stories coming from Indonesia. The number of women alleging sexual misconduct by Iwayan Agus Suartama has risen to 15 as more victims have decided to come forward.
Agus is currently facing a criminal investigation by the West Nusa Tenggara Police.
However, due to his status as a person with disability, he has not been detained but put under house arrest.
West Nusa Tenggara Police have started a criminal investigation against alleged sex offender Iwayan Agus Suartama, as known as Agus Buntung. He underwent first questioning on Monday at the General Crimes Division after arriving with his mother. Due to his status as a person with disability, Agus has not been detained but put under house arrest. Meanwhile, more people have come forward with claims of alleged misconduct by Agus since the case went viral, including 3 minors. West Nusa Tenggara's Disabilities Commission, which received the claims, said those made by minors will be filed under a separate report.
Ini juga menjadi persoalannya adalah apakah nanti ini akan masuk dalam satu perkara atau LP baru. Nah ini yang kemudian menjadi persoalan. Kalau yang anak-anak kemungkinan harus LP baru, karena pasal yang diancamkan kan berbeda.
The commission also stated that they will ensure that Agus' rights as a disabled person are protected. See Today contributor reporting from West Nusa Tenggara.
A police officer who is facing investigation for fatally shooting a student in Semarang has been slapped with dishonorable discharge.
An ethics committee declared Robik Zainuddin guilty in a hearing on Monday and dismissed him from the force.
Also present during the hearing were relatives of victim Gama Rizkinata and their legal counsel. Joint Senior Commissioner Edi Sudistyo from Central Java Police presided over the 9-hour hearing.
On the occasion, the police also confirmed that Robik has been named suspect in the case. Meanwhile, Robik said he will contest the decision.
And for his part, Gama's father, Andi Prabowo, stated that he is satisfied with the decision.
Dan putusannya adalah AFDAR selaku terduga pelanggar ini mendapat putusan PTDH, yaitu pemberhentian tidak dengan hormat. Melakukan perbuatan tercela, yaitu perbuatan melakukan penembakan terhadap sekelompok orang yang lewat atau kelompok anak yang sedang menggunakan sepeda motor. Untuk tadi disampaikan beliau akan banding. Jadi untuk banding beliau diberi kesempatan 3 hari untuk mengajukan kepada ketua sidang.
Mas dengan pemberhentian tidak hormat yang dilakukan pada tersangka, saya sangat senang. Manusiawi juga. Kalau orang ketemu yang meninggal, yang membunuh anak saya itu wajar kalau saya marah sekali ya.
On to our next news. Chairperson-elect of Anti-Graft Body, KPK, has stated he will meet with the agency executive to talk about the plans for the next 5 years.
However, no such meeting will take place before he is confirmed by President Prabowo Subianto.
Speaking at the KPK building on Monday, chairperson-elect of the Anti-Graft Body, Setio Budianto, revealed plans to meet with other executives to discuss the targets and plans for the next 5 years.
However, he confirmed that no meeting will take place before he is sworn in by President Prabowo Subianto. He also said that he believes his peers would have developed with their own vision and mission in the meantime.
Setio also pledged to improve the performance of the agency, including by addressing the recent dip in the Corruption Perception Index.
Visi-visi apa yang akan kami lakukan untuk kepentingan Komisi Pemberantasan Korupsi. Nah, itu akan kami lakukan pasca kami akan dilantik. Kalau sekarang ya masing-masing tentunya belum bertemu. Karena masih ada kesibukan masing-masing. Nah, itulah yang akan menjadi program 100 hari, program jangka pendek, jangka sedang, dan akan menjadi jangka panjang.
Prosecutors in the massive tin graft case involving multiple business actors demanded 12 years for defendant Harvey Moise.
Harvey is facing multiple charges in the case, including money laundering.
Apart from the sentence, the prosecution on Monday also demanded he pay 1 billion rupiahs in fines or serve a year in prison, as well as pay 210 billion in restitutions. Harvey is facing charges related to money laundering and corruption linked to tin concession between 2015 and 2022. He is accused of conspiring with the other defendants as a representative of PT Refined Bangka Tin to profit from the smelting of illegal mining at PT Timah Mines. He is believed to have received cuts from smelters masked as funds allotted for a corporate social responsibility. The National Police have unveiled 2 books authored by anti-corruption activists and academics in commemoration of International Anti-Corruption Day.
Yes, and officials from Tanjung Pinang Prosecutor's Office distributed T-shirts featuring anti-corruption slogans to promote public awareness.
To mark the International Anti-Corruption Day on Monday, officials of Tanjung Pinang Prosecutor's Office gave out T-shirts bearing the slogan Kejaksaan Beraksi, Korupsi Dibasmi. Their anti-graft campaign also included an outreach event to teachers and education officials, as well as the launch of Jaksa Sahabat Guru program. The program aims to nurture anti-corruption ideals among the youth and educators. In addition, the office also handed the prizes for its poster and design competition. In her remarks, Acting Chief Prosecutor Atik Rusmiati urged local leaders to avoid corrupt practices, stating that prevention begins with oneself. She also revealed that the office has seized over 700 million rupiahs from various graft cases.
Yang sudah pasti hindari korupsi. Korupsi dimulai harus dari diri sendiri, keluarga, dan pekerjaannya. Mereka harus bisa mencegah dari tindakan awalnya, bahwa dalam melaksanakan tupoksinya mereka harus tahu mana yang benar, mana yang salah. Dan jangan mencoba-coba untuk melaksanakan penyelewengan terhadap uang.
On the same day, National Police Chief General Listio Sigit Prabowo attended the book launch by the Police Anti-Corruption Task Force in Jakarta. The first book, Pendidikan Anti-Korupsi Transdisiplin, is written by various anti-graft figures including former KPK Chief Bambang Wijoyanto, Novel Baswedan, and former Indonesia Corruption Watch Coordinator Adnan Topan Husodo. The second, Orang Baik Belajar Anti-Korupsi, is a collaboration with Islamic University of Indonesia. In his remarks, Listio revealed that the books also leveled some criticisms for the police force. He described them as vital to improving the police as an institution, including its bureaucracy.
Saya memberikan apresiasi yang sangat luar biasa, khususnya kepada teman-teman yang sudah menulis karya terbaiknya, mulai dari pengalamannya, kemudian pemahamannya tentang masalah korupsi, sehingga kemudian itu dituangkan dalam sebuah buku. Dan tentunya ini menjadi kewajiban kita semua agar korupsi yang merupakan kejahatan extraordinary ini betul-betul bisa digarap tidak hanya oleh aparat penegak hukum, tapi juga oleh seluruh kementerian. Ada pendidikan, kemudian kementerian-kementerian yang selain melakukan kegiatan-kegiatan yang sifatnya kita bekerja dari hal yang pencegahan, namun juga penegakan hukum juga harus terus diperkuat, sehingga ini semua bisa membawa apa yang diharapkan oleh masyarakat, oleh Bapak Presiden terkait dengan bagaimana mewujudkan pemberantasan korupsi yang optimal untuk mewujudkan visi misi Indonesia Emas 2045.
The books are expected to help promote a culture against corruption not only among officials but also the public. Siteri contributed reporting from Jakarta and Riau Islands.
The Corruption Eradication Commission, through the National Strategy for Corruption Prevention, partnered with director Garin Nugroho to release a film entitled Nyanyi Sunyi Dalam Rantang.
This film was launched to commemorate World Anti-Corruption Day that takes place on December the 9th.
The Corruption Eradication Commission, or KPK, through the National Strategy for Corruption Prevention (Stranas PK), partnered with director Gawin Nugroho to release Nyanyi Sunyi Dalam Ulantan, a film commemorating World Anti-Corruption Day on December 9. The film serves as a tool to raise awareness among government institutions, stakeholders, and the public.
Bobroknya birokrasi sebagai anggota
berbagai macam cara yang dari Stranas PK, berbagai macam cara akan dilakukan supaya masyarakat itu lebih aware terkait konsep pencegahan korupsi. Salah satunya melalui media film sinema ini. Film-film yang digarap oleh Mas Hari itu memang lebih membumi, artinya lebih mudah dipahami, lebih mudah dimengerti oleh masyarakat. Masuk dalam film tadi yang barusan ditayangkan dalam konteks kita pencegahan korupsi, itu mungkin akan bisa mengenal.
It tells the story of Puspa, a young law enforcer played by Della Daltian, who faces corruption, questionable court rulings, and legal manipulation. Despite the challenges, Puspa stays committed to upholding justice, uncovering smuggling schemes, misuse of poverty aid, and the abuse of laws to suppress dissent.
Ini peran yang sangat penting sekali, karena Puspa ini dilambangkan sebagai seseorang yang selalu kalah. Tapi dia punya tekad yang luar biasa. Dan rantang ini adalah sebuah harapan sebenarnya. Bahwa di negeri ini tuh masih ada harapan kok. Gitu. Walaupun kecil, tapi pasti masih ada asal punya tekad yang kuat.
Meanwhile, Deputy Minister of Home Affairs, Bima Arya, highlighted government efforts to combat corruption using electronic systems designed to streamline public services and improve transparency.
Di banyak kota sekarang kan sistem